welcome to Life with Pro. Today we're gonna visit the Maquoketa State Parks in the city of Iowa. It's one of the best kept secret if you're visiting that area deep in the Midwest territory. Now, this is an incredible journey. The landscape feels more like a fantasy novel than a cave you would visit out in the American Midwest. Strap on your boots. Let's jumping into an exciting adventure. This state park in Iowa is unique because of the variety of landscape it presents. Lush forests alongside towering bluffs. In the heart of it is an intricate cave system captivating visitors for centuries. But before we jump in, let's talk a little bit about how to get there. This park is very accessible, if you know what I mean, meaning you gotta drive to get there. If you're coming from the Quad Cities, it's about 45 minutes south of Dubuque, Iowa, about an hour of the Quad Cities. If you are coming from the city of Des Moines, this would be about a 3 hours drive east of Des Moines. From Chicago, you're looking at about a 4-hour drive west. There's some driving to be done if you're gonna this part of the country. For Iowa, realize cell service is a little bit spotty depending on your carrier. So if you're gonna be out in the wilderness doing hiking, then consider downloading the map. When you arrive, it's important to take a deep breath because you can smell the freshness of the air. This is a cave area, so that comes as no surprise. It's not a big park compared to other parks you might visit. In total, it ranges from 323 acres is some of the numbers you will hear for the size of the park. But don't let this relatively small size fool you. This park is it's a punch. It packs a punch, just given the natural wonders that are available in the park. Now, the star of the park obviously is the cave system. Now, some people might come in here to do hiking and driving, camping, but for most people, the cave system is what brings them into the park. There are many caves, dozens of them scattered throughout the park from the north side to the south side, from the east to the west. You're gonna find all of these caves, systems and caverns throughout the park, ranging from 1,100 foot dinosaur cave to small caves and crevices that you can channel yourself and your inner spelunker into. Definitely worth the exploration. Beyond the caves in the park also boasts a rugged bluff system, dense woodland, almost 6 miles of hiking trail will take you through some of the most picturesque scenery Iowa has to offer. People tend to think Iowa is made of farms, but this park proves it a little bit otherwise. Let's talk a little bit about the history of the park and go back in time. Like most caves and the surrounding area, it's been around long before humans inhabited that area. So archaeology is being done, and the belief that Native American tribes used these particular caves over 4,000 years ago. If you put that into context, the pyramids were already being built, a lot of things were happening in the world, and this cave was being used by the Native Americans. So treat it with a sense of reverence when you get there, because we are all passing through this and it's been around for a while. Now fast forward to the 19th century. This area became a popular picnic spot for early European settlers that came through the area. People would travel for miles and miles just to get into this particular area to explore, take pictures, and marvel at the natural beauty that it had to offer. Now, in 1921, because of the unique geological natural value, the state of Iowa did purchase the land and they made it an official state park, which is now called the Maquoketa State Park in Iowa. Now, interestingly, during the Great Depression in the 1930s, the CCC, the Civilian Conservation Corps, set up camp in that area Now, when you visit the park, many of the structures you see were built up as part of the CCC program in the 1930s. Let's talk about the hike for this park. The trail systems are amazing. You can spend 30 minutes to 4 hours. Most people start the hike near the Stone Lodge, the beautiful structure. This is part of the structure built by the CCC in the 1930s. It serves as the park's interpretive center. From there, you can go either directions. There is a natural bridge, which is very popular. This is a short walk from the lodge. It's a sight to behold. The massive arch of rock spanning over 50 feet and rising over 40 feet above the trail system. This is a natural bridge. It's one of the few formations in Iowa created over thousands of years by the erosive power of water. The beauty of this arch is you can actually go underneath, take a moment, you can take pictures, you can see the ferns and the mosses clinging to the moist rock walls. Next up is the dance hall. It's a mainstay of this particular cave system. Standing at over 1,100 foot long, you will be amazed. The dance hall is the largest cave in the park system. As you can imagine, it got its name from local legend that the early settlers used to hold dances in the spacious chamber. As you approach the cave entrance, you'll notice the temperature drops. This is something very common with caves. The cave maintains a constant temperature of 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees centigrade year-round. It can be refreshing in the hot summer days, the warm shelter for the winter months, which is why cave people, it's really a thing because they will go into caves to shelter from either the cold or the heat. Before entering any cave, and this one in particular, safety is of paramount importance. The cave is a pass-through, but depending on your height, you might need a helmet. Some of the places you might be stooping and bending and weaving the body in very unnatural ways. It's important to think about safety. If you're extra tall, that might not be a good plus for you being in the cave. For those who are short, it might be easier walking around. Watch your steps. The floors can be very slippery at times. A headlamp or a flashlight would not be a bad idea. Now, one thing to notice when you get into caves is just the change of the sounds, the echoes, the footsteps, the drip. It's like you're entering a whole new world. This cave gives you that experience too. As you walk through the cave, you might see formations as you expect in any cave, icicle-like structures hanging from the ceiling. These are your stalactites that are very common in caves. Remember, these stalactites are delicate, so do not mess with them, stay out of them, keep nature the way you made it. About halfway through the cave, you come into a large chamber, and this is, if people were actually doing dances here, this is where the dances will happen, in this large chamber area. And as you get towards the exit, it gets brighter. So darkness, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. It's always a bit surreal to experience the emerging from cold darkness back into the warmth of daylight, something words cannot capture. This cave is packed full of trail systems. You can explore the dance hall cave. You can head higher grounds. There is an upper cave trail. There are trails that are a bit challenging, steep inclines, rocky terrains, steps you can climb up and climb down. So I would definitely be prepared with good hiking boots. The vegetation can grow really thick. Be prepared for moistness, ferns covering the area. If you're lucky, you might spot some wildlife, deer, turkeys, foxes, lots of opportunities to experience wildlife. One interesting thing to call out would be the balanced rock. Sitting precariously on a stone pedestal, you can see a rock that defies gravity for thousands of years. This park is definitely one to be explored firsthand, to see the power of nature that has shaped the landscape for over millions of years. There's more to Iowa than people imagine. This park challenges the notion that Iowa is flat or that Iowa is farmland. It's a testament to the diverse and sometimes challenging, surprising natural beauty in America's Midwest. A few tips if you're gonna visit: wear steady shoes, bring a headlamp, dress in layers, given the wetness, have some rain or waterproof shoes or clothes on, plenty of water as always. Consider visiting during the day because over the weekends get busy. Check the park's website for closures or conservation efforts. Cave systems are delicate. Leave no trace and help preserve this park by packing out everything you bring in. That's in a nutshell, breathtaking park. Muir famously said, "In every walk with nature, one receives far more than one seeks." I hope this rings true for you as you get to explore this amazing park. Stay humble, stay safe. See you on the trail.